So hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. Recently we looked at the Amiga 500 Mini and the games that might appear there. Now what we're going to look at today is Amiga games and the emulation on the Raspberry Pi. Now, the emulation is absolutely fantastic. It's ideal because we have the keyboard and the mouse that can play certain games. Anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at some of the games that we have installed and how they actually run. So Alien Breed 3D, we actually played this recently for the Amiga Mini and all the games that are going to appear on that. And some of the emulation, some of the games I played probably weren't really good. This one especially, and I think it was Simon the Sorcerer, the music was quite off. And I guess there was a little bit of slowdown here and there, but hopefully, play this, we'll see that the emulation is far better and it sounds better and plays a lot better. Oh, I'm getting hit from both sides. Darn. You can see right away, guys, that it does look and sound much better than it was previously. And the Raspberry Pi emulation is really fantastic. I'm impressed so far how well it actually plays. Oh, quite a cool game. Didn't have the joy of playing this at the time, obviously never had an Amiga, but definitely enjoying it now. And a lot of people, I'm not sure if you prefer the 3D version or the sort of top-down 2D version, which we'll look at in a little second. I'm not really sure, I think that they obviously play quite differently. So let's look at the sort of 2D sort of version, the top-down, which is the original sort of version of Alien Breed, which I actually quite enjoy as well. I think this is really cool, obviously it has the alien vibe going on. I still like this version over the sort of 3D version. It's quite different. It's quite good fun to play. I would definitely like to see this on the Mini as well as the 3D version. I'm not sure what everyone else thinks, whether this is preferable or it's the 3D version or what, but this is actually good fun. Can be quite tricky, right enough. Getting messed up here. Oh yeah, I'm getting sucked into these turbines or whatever they are. Oh, I'm dead. So I've got a mixture of Amiga 1200 games and CD32 games mixed in here. And I think there are the separate files in the actual folder system for Amiga CD32, but it doesn't seem to pick up. So what I do is just drop everything into the Amiga folder, and it picks up fine on the Batocera. And as you see, the emulation so far is particularly good. Let's have a look at this one. It's like a bee simulator game. Not really a massive shoot 'em up fan myself, but this is actually quite cool. Not exactly sure what the bee's shooting out, or the wasp, whatever it is. Oh, I'm not very good at this. Kinda cool. A little bit different, I guess, isn't it? Oh, I'm dead again. You can see why I'm not particularly good at shoot 'em ups or don't particularly like them. I'm just not bloody good at them. Really like to be good at them, but no matter what I try, I'm just not particularly great. As much as I quite like some shoot 'em ups, I get frustrated by not being very good. Oh. So guys, on Batocera you actually have the option, if you press the select button, you've got the option to change the emulator that you use, and sometimes it's better changing to different ones. Like I think by default I'm using the Amiberry A4000, but some games seem to run better on the PUAE emulator. Not all of them. I mean, I think by default the Amiberry is probably better, but in this occasion, Beneath a Steel Sky seems to perform better for some reason. But let's have a look. This game is actually one of the games you can actually use the mouse with, which obviously it's a point and click game. And it definitely helps. Try to do this with the D-pad can be a bit troublesome. These games are just meant for point and click with a mouse. The game does take a little bit longer to load than a lot of games, so you just have to be patient. It does appear as if it's not actually working, but it just takes a little time to load in. And amazingly, you can use the keyboard and mouse for this, which is massively helpful. I think playing with the D-pad isn't really the best way to sort of play the game. I think actually this works pretty well on here. I mean, I've seen this stuttering and not really working on a lot of other emulators, but on here it does seem to be playing pretty well.
What you want? Looking for a saboteur from the Gap? Yeah, we got orders direct from Link. Take him alive before he does any more damage.
So we need to escape from here. Sort of move your mouse and click on here. You can use the D-pad, as like I said, but it was quite a good version, to be honest.
Just as well there isn't a fire.
See, it plays quite well. This is quite cool.
Who's up there? You won't escape that way. He must have jumped. Fell all the way to ground level.
I've got that sort of light humour going on through the game, which is kind of amusing. I think that's what some of the games were renowned for that they had.
Security symbol. That must be their headquarters.
Anyway, guys, so I see this seems to be performing quite well. I could be here forever sort of playing this game, but I think we'll move on to the next one. This is Brutal Paws of Fury. It's like a fighting game. It's kind of funky. So again, we can use the mouse with this, which is quite cool. Definitely, I think it's easier to use the mouse, but it's not impossible to use a controller. I mean, that's probably how I first played the game on the Mega Drive. Fairly easy. Left is to move and right button is to shoot. So I think this is obviously how the game was designed in the first place to be played. It's such a cracking game, it really is a good game. Seems to be quite quick with the sort of mouse movement, it's quite funny. But yeah, this version's fantastic. I think it's something that maybe if anyone follows the sort of Evercade, we would really love to see Amiga versions on the Evercade. But obviously, unfortunately, yeah, a lot of the games do need mouse like this game. But it's not impossible to play with a joypad. It's just better some of the games playing with a mouse. But yeah, hopefully at some point we might see Amiga on the Evercade. I mean, it's definitely going to be capable of playing the games. It's just whether they get the licenses to actually play them. And I hope we do, because there's a massive catalogue here that we could maybe tap into. And I think it would be amazing. I think a lot of people would be blown away how impressive some of the versions are, like Speedball, for example, and Cannon Fodder. Oh, there's loads of games that obviously we've got some games coming that are, sort of were Amiga versions originally, but you know, we've got sort of lesser versions, if you will. A lot of people will argue that the Amiga versions were the best versions of these games. So this is Chuck Rocks, which definitely remember through the sort of, I think it was the 90s, early 90s, this game. So the style of it was quite kind of funny. You sort of kill the enemies with your belly. Kind of funky and cool. It's definitely different, that's for sure. It's a bit stiff, I guess, as a sort of a platformer. It is pretty stiff to play, but it's kind of fun. Okay, Thalamus are kind of more recognised for being a C64 specialist rather than Amiga. And this game was one of the best on the C64, which is Creatures. Now, I didn't actually realise there was an Amiga version of Creatures. I have to say, I don't like this version of Creatures. I think it's maybe because I played the C64 version so much that it's difficult to appreciate this version. But I mean, it's alright. I just think that the sounds and the graphics just aren't Creatures. It just looks like they've done something really bad with it, and it just doesn't work for me. I think this is a cracking game. I think if anyone is aware of the C64 version, I think the C64 version is far superior to this. I just think they've done a lot of things to this. It's just wrong for me. It still plays quite well, but I think if anyone has played the C64 version, they'll know what I'm talking about. It's so much better than this. And graphically, it's probably slightly better, maybe, we could argue. There's a lot more detail, but it's not a better game on here. I don't think you'll say that very often, right enough, but this is definitely an occasion where C64 was better. So guys, this is Flashback. It's a small point I need to note here, that some games play better with the different emulator. Most of the games I've played so far have been with Amiberry, but this one didn't seem to play very well at all. But I've moved it to the PUAE emulator, and it's, as you can see, it's actually running a lot better and it's fine. But with this, I mean, you see that the bezels are included in the side. Now these are totally optional. You can turn the bezels off. I think some of the things, it does look quite cool, like you're playing on a monitor. But yeah, totally optional. You can turn that off if you want. So this is Flashback, which I think I played the Mega Drive version. I'm not really sure. I'm pretty sure the Amiga version came first. But this was quite a big game at the time. I think it was quite different, and the style of it was really cool, and it was quite popular. Pretty difficult to play though. There's no doubt it was very difficult. I have to admit, it's been a while since I've played this. It is a tricky game. I'm not great at it, to be honest. It's fun though. I mean, it's very good. If you've never played this game, then I'd definitely recommend having a look at it, picking it up. This game was obviously renowned as being a huge Amiga game. It was made into a Mega Drive again, but I don't think that version was as good. I think you could probably argue what games were better on the Mega Drive that were converted from the Amiga. I don't think there was too many. I mean, they were decent enough, but I think you could still argue that the Amiga versions were definitely far superior. This is quite a tough game, to be honest. Quite cool, but it's very, very difficult. One that you definitely need a lot of patience with to sort of get anywhere. Whoa, I'm cornered. So this game is one of my all-time favourite games, especially, I loved it on the C64, but if you look at this version is just amazing. I really love it. Oops, I'm not particularly amazing at it, but it can be tricky. Getting my ass kicked here, that's for sure. Oh my god. But obviously, what's different about this is that you wasn't one-on-one, you were taking on two guys at the same time. And that certainly made it quite hard. I try to remember some of these moves. I loved all the detail and all the background, or sort of the Easter eggs that appear, and I'm out. But yeah, I definitely love this game. One of these games I've played lots and lots over the years. Hard to tell though the way I'm playing. It can be difficult to do an Amiga without having some kind of sensible soccer sort of game on here. Let's fast forward that. Oh. I think where some of this version differed is that the ball doesn't stick to your feet. But I think some of the other versions it did, and definitely makes it a lot harder to play. You get used to it. I mean, I think the kick-off games were that kind of style, whereas this other version of this where you could actually just have the ball stuck to your feet, and I don't know. It's obviously it depends how you prefer it. I think I prefer it stuck to my feet because I'm lazy. Top game either way. I think it just makes the game a little bit trickier. Oops. Change of formation in the game. So it just makes the game a little bit trickier if the ball's not stuck to your feet, and it does take a little bit of getting used to. Oh, I need to shoot earlier, don't I? Oofed. Great save. Okay, this is Kick-Off 2. Obviously we've just played Sensible Soccer. Be difficult not to include Kick-Off as well, because this was an amazing game too. I'm not sure what people thought, whether they prefer Kick-Off or Sensible Soccer. I think I was always preferred Sensible Soccer. It was probably slightly easier to play. But I mean, there's a lot to love about Kick-Off as well. You can see I think it was probably harder to control. As you can see, the ball runs away from you quite well, but I think I'm definitely way out of practice here. Top game. If you love your football games though, this is definitely one of the better ones. I think that's the thing about sort of the computer consoles. They certainly weren't short of football games, especially in the UK. There was so many. Okay guys, just another little tidbit that notice this Lemmings doesn't work particularly well on Amiberry, so what I'm going to do is move back to the PUAE, which you find in the advanced system options. You can just change it to whatever you fancy. This varies between games. I mean, most of the games I've been using Amiberry and it's been absolutely fine, but some games there's a sort of intense flickering that just doesn't seem to work very well. So if that does happen, I would just swap it to the other emulator and go over there, and it usually is absolutely fine. You can obviously tell what emulator I'm using through the video. You've got the bezels at the side, that's the PUAE emulator. And if they're not there, it's the other one, Amiberry. Lemmings is one of those games that was so addictive back in the day. So made by DMA Design, but probably a little bit more famous for Grand Theft Auto. But wow, this was a great game. I try to remember how the heck to play this. Right, also we need to dig. What a game, oh my god. I remember being massively addicted to this game. Not really sure if we'd ever see such a game coming on the Arcade. I think it's quite a fiddly little game that the graphics are quite small. I mean, as I know we have worms, but does it really work? I mean, you really need a mouse and keyboard to sort of make this work. You can use the controller. I mean, I had played this in the Mega Drive and it was fine, but I don't know. On a sort of tiny handheld screen, I'm not sure it works. Yeah, what a cool game. I might get addicted all over again. Okay, Lotus Esprit Turbo Challenge. Absolutely amazing game. I've had this in many formats, C64, Mega Drive. Such a cool driving game. Didn't realise I was on manual gearing. Absolutely love this game. Oops. Not particularly amazing at it, right enough. You can actually pit and sort of refuel, which I think you have to in some parts. I remember I didn't have an Amiga, but I definitely played this game back in the game. I think my friend had an Amiga and we got to play some games. I remember this being one of them. And I was really fascinated at how cool it looked. I think the style of it is so cool. I feel it reminds you a little bit of like Gods in a way with the graphic style. It was pretty hard though, it was really quite hard. But I always enjoyed playing it, I really did enjoy it. So being a sort of platformer fan, then this is right on my street. Interestingly, on the Evercade we are getting a Bitmap Brothers collection, but this is not one of the games. Maybe the fact that there wasn't many other versions released. There was a Mega Drive version released fairly recently, thanks. I'm not sure if they actually have the rights or the license for it. This is Shadow Fighter. No surprises, this is a fighting game. Cool, I love the art style, it's really cool. Okay, it would really be difficult not to include Speedball 2 in the video, considering this is probably one of the most recognised Amiga games. This is the CD32 version, which is probably, it's just a little bit more colourful really. There's not a massive amount of differences. It just adds a little bit of colour to the game that wasn't really there. As you can see already, it kind of has sort of purple and pinks and stuff going on. Does it make it a better game? I don't really know, but I quite like it. A lot of people don't really like the style of it, but I actually quite like it. And yeah, if you've played other versions of this game, I like the C64 version. I think it's probably a little bit quicker. For the Mega Drive version, it's okay, but it just seems to be missing some things. But still Speedball, I think a lot of the versions I've played are all really the same, very playable. There's lots of versions out there, but I think everybody will probably should agree that the Amiga versions are definitely the best. going to be one amazingly addictive game. Okay guys, this is Skidmarks. So interestingly, this is a game that's on the Evercade just now on the Codemasters collection, but it's the Mega Drive version that we have, and I think it's horrible. I really think it's horrible. If anyone's played this version, the Amiga version, it's so much more playable, it's much more fun. It's probably a little bit easier to play. I think it's a little bit more forgiving. The Mega Drive game is just horrible for me. I don't enjoy it, I'm not very good at it either. It needs more practice, let's put it this way. Such a fun little game. I definitely recommend anyone that's never played it to look out the Amiga version, not Mega Drive. Anyway, fun game guys, let's move on. So guys, we're on Chaos Engine now. And this is CD32 version. And this was a very good game. Again, there's a lot of, all these games do tend to get other versions if they're decent. They're on Mega Drive, SNES, it goes on. But were they better versions? It's hard to say. A lot of the time the Amiga versions are probably the best versions. For instance, I don't think the Mega Drive version of this is particularly great. I think it's quite sluggish and slow. The SNES version is not bad. I think the SNES version is probably a bit closer to this. They seem to move at the same pace. Whereas this version, the Mega Drive version, is just slow. Fun little game to play, definitely. Woohoo! So another Amiga classic is Turrican. Amiga was filled with so many classic games. I mean, guys, if I have missed your favourite game, let me know and I'll have a look at it. I mean, I'm not really a massive expert on Amiga games, I was more C64, but obviously I know a lot of the games that were decent. I've definitely not captured them all here. Please leave a comment, any other games that you want me to cover, and I'll have a look at them. And let me know what your favourite Amiga games. Definitely interested to know. Definitely want to play them as well. And who knows how many of these games we'll actually see in the upcoming Amiga Mini. And obviously you can add your own games to it. And let's hope the emulations are good as easier, because I think so far the emulation has been fantastic. Okay guys, another classic is Zoo, which is such a great sort of art style, really love it. It goes along at quite a good pace. That's quite a hard game though. But there's no doubt it was obviously trying to be like a Sonic style game, but in its own right. I mean, the characters, it's quite cool. I love the art style, it's fantastic. And it is a lot of fun to play. And there's been lots of other versions over the years of this, SNES, Mega Drive, etc. Might even have been a NES version, Master System. But you always have to come back to the original, probably being the best version. Okay guys, thanks for watching the video today, I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And let me know in the comments what you think. What games would you like to see, what was your favourite Amiga games? And we'll catch you again next time. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.